This is your React application where there are some items present in the cart. Perfect. Now, once you click on this continue button, your expectation is you should go to a payment gateway. You should go to a payment page. Now, remember this point. Connecting, see, this entire thing is front end. In real time, the front end and the payment gateway will not at all be connected. No. Front end and payment gateway will not at all be connected together. That can never happen. Your front end cannot speak to the payment gateway. Neither your payment gateway can get connected to this front end. Sir, then how it works in real time? We will have one program which will be written between these two people. So one program will be written. So what will happen? Whenever you click on continue button, first the control will come to this program. Let me take a different color. So whenever you click on continue button, first the control will come to this program. Once the control is coming to this program, this particular program will take the details which are there in the cart. This particular program will take the details in the cart. In fact, we have done one mistake. Sir, what is that mistake? Tell me, the items are collected by, the items are collected and stored within React application itself. But in real time, this will not happen. How it works? Listen to this. This is my React application. Listen to this. You will get to know what is the advantage of Node and Express here. So that later in the upcoming classes, when we discuss, you will understand why it's actually used. So maybe this is one item, second, third, fourth. There are 4 items, and for every item, you have corresponding add to cart button. So you have a corresponding add to cart button. Now listen to this in real time, how the flow works. I'm explaining it. So this is completely from your React. React means front end. It develops the thing that you can see on the website. Now listen to this. Whenever you click on this add to cart button, as of now, what we did, we wrote the logic in such a way that our React application itself, our front end itself, will collect the details of that particular product, and our front end is only putting in the Redux store. Means collecting the data, storing the data, everything is happening within the front end. This is not the architecture of a real-time application. In real time, this will not happen. Sir, then how this works? In real time, what will happen is, when I tell real time, the end-to-end full stack application, how they work. Whenever you click on, say suppose, I'll click on this add to cart button. Whenever you click on this add to cart, 100% we need to extract this product details. But remember, front end only will not access the details. Your React only will not access the details. No. So whenever you click on this button, immediately control will go to one more person. This one more person is only called as what I will tell you. So control goes to one more program. So whenever you click on add to cart of any product, immediately one program will get executed. Sir, what is the use of this program? What this program will do now? This program, first step, it will collect the data. It will collect the data. If you click on this add to cart button, whatever the details of the product you have, this program will collect it. Or if you click on this add to cart button, whatever the product details you have here, those product details will be collected by this program. So basically this program will collect the data. After collecting the data, second step, you want to store the data. So there are two options to store the data. One is you can store the data in a file, or you can store the data in a database. But normally, small amount of data, if you keep it in a file, not a problem. But a huge amount of data, if you're trying to keep it in a file, then reading the data, updating, deletion, everything would be difficult because the data is huge, which is there in the file. So in real time, we will store database, local storage, Redux, all these things will work only with front end. Yes, of course, local storage you can use, but again, that's not the proper way of storing it. And Redux, you can store the data in Redux if you are working with front end. Sir, then what we will do? In real time, we will put this data in the database. Now, again, who will put it? Very simple. This program is collecting the data. So again, the same program will also store the data in the database. So which database is that? It can be any database. Most preferably, you will be using MongoDB. The data is getting stored in the MongoDB. But if you require a copy of the data, even in your client side, so this is the client side. This is the client side because this is the website where the client will interact or the customer will interact. So the data which is, if you want to store a copy of data in the client side, then you have so many options. So you can use a file. You create a file, put the data in that file. Second one, you can use local storage. Third option, you can also use Redux. So normally when you are working with front end alone, now this is the limitation. But when you want to develop a end-to-end full-fledged application, this is the scenario we need to follow. Create a React application, create a front end using React. Whatever the data related to that, put the data in the database. And again, this communication directly, it cannot happen. In between, you need to write one program. Sir, how to write this program? To write this program, we have some technologies like Node.js, Express.js, Spring Boot. Like this, we have so many technologies which can be used in order to actually write this program. But yes, we need to develop in this manner. But we have developed this so that as a front end, you would be getting the practice. And again, say suppose in the front end, you will have one button, get products. So there is one button with the name get products. So as soon as you click on that particular button, you should get all the product details and display it in the front end. Again, what will happen? Again, when you click on get products, do not think it will directly connect to the database. No, we have connected Firestore to front end directly. Only that database can be connected directly to React. But apart from that, MongoDB, MySQL, no, these things you cannot directly connect to front end. So again, if you want the details from the database, when you click on this button, again it should connect to this program. Again, this program will interact with the database, get the data, give the data back to your front end. Your front end will display it. Remember, internally, everything, a communication between a front end and a database will always happen through a program in between. So this program, we normally call it as server program. This program, we normally call it as what? Server program. Sir, why this program is called as a server program? First of all, what is a server? A server is a computer. What is a server? A server is a computer. When I tell a server is a computer, it's not a normal computer. It's a high-speed computer. Sir, why this computer should be high-speed with more GB RAM, all these things with good hardware and software configurations? Why this should be there? Because inside this computer, this entire program will be kept. Inside that computer, this entire program will be kept. Whatever the program you see, that entire program will be kept inside this server or in this computer. So what will happen? Whenever you click on add products, so whenever you click on add products, immediately the control will come to this computer. In this computer, some program is there. So this program will collect the details, validate those details. After validating the details, then it will put in the database. Why this program is called as a server program? Because this program is kept inside the server. That is the reason in the browser, see, browser is my front end. When I type the URL www.facebook.com, when I click enter button, everyone will tell this login page will get displayed. How this login page is getting displayed? Sir, Facebook server is giving the output. Facebook server means, so Facebook people have maintained one computer, which is nothing but a server. In that server, the program has been kept. So that program is responsible to give this login page as the output. A server which contains the program related to Facebook, it is a server program, or we normally call it as a Facebook server. So this is how real-time applications will get connected. Again, we want to connect to payment gateway. Again, it's not possible. You cannot connect anything from front end directly to something like a database or to a payment gateway. Direct connection between the front end, it's not possible. So here somewhere you have a payment gateway where it will ask you to enter the card number. Then it will ask you to enter your expiry date, a CVV, all these things. So this is a payment gateway. You have to connect it to your application. Again, what will happen? Again, this payment gateway connection will be given to your React application through this server program itself. How? Because how it will happen? Listen to this. All the items are there in the cart. Once all the items are there in the cart, finally you will click on continue button. So once you click on continue button, all of you told, sir, payment gateway has to be displayed. So whenever you click on this continue button, this payment page has to get loaded. But when you click on the continue button in the front end, it cannot directly communicate with the payment gateway. These connections are not directly possible. So what we will do, when you click on the continue button, we will forward the request to the server. Now server will understand, okay, this time front end is asking me to display the login page. Inside this server, I will write the program in such a manner that whenever I click on the continue button, I should connect it to the payment page. In such a way, I will write the program so that whenever you click on continue button, control will go to the server. Inside this server, some part of the program will get executed, and that part of the program is responsible to connect to the payment page. And that payment page, once it is connected, that payment page will be basically given as the output in my application.